A number of things happened almost instantaneously as the wolf lunged at me from out of nowhere. Well, not nowhere exactly. I saw where it had come from, but it shot out of the woods to my right so fast that it felt as if it had materialized out of thin air. This predator was a stealthy stalker. The forested area on the side of the highway inclined several feet, giving the attacking creature a higher ground launching pad advantage. Not that it needed any more of an advantage than it already had. As I screeched in alarm, time seemed to slow to a crawl, allowing me what felt like an eternity to admire the sleek, lean, yet muscular build of the beautiful and deadly predator as it sailed through the air. I had never seen a wolf up close before, and was awestruck by its powerful build. Interestingly enough, none of the aforementioned things that happened was my life flashing before my eyes, despite the visual evidence that was presented. Instead, internally, an odd layer of 3 thoughts struck me simultaneously as I was admiring the magnificent, deadly beauty of the attacking wolf. They were, "Now I'll never get to see New York." Was that the sound of my laptop crunching as I hit the ground? This is the end. That third layer of thought was the most powerful of the 3, of course, and it was punctuated by a bright light that hit my eyes before the wolf reached me. Like I mentioned, time seemed to stand still, allowing me the opportunity to layer several additional rapid-fire questions as to what was happening. How could the light at the end be coming before I even felt the wolf hit me? Was I already dead? Had I died from fear and shock the second I spotted the wolf lunging at me? Was that annoying, high-pitched scream echoing through the night air actually coming from me? Could the warmth I felt spreading through my crotch mean that I'd just wet myself? How embarrassing would that be when they discovered my half-eaten body on the side of this lonely stretch of highway? The flash of light, of course, wasn't the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel signaling the shucking off of my mortal coil. It was the headlights of an approaching car that came barreling around the corner. And those lights must also have distracted the wolf in mid-leap. Heck, maybe my dog whistle-pitched cry of fear played a small role in it, too. Because as I was turning hopelessly away and raising my left arm up as if that might actually do any good in protecting me, the wolf also seemed to twist at the last second, attempting to abort the attack. Its paws hit me high on the chest, and the wolf's fangs penetrated the skin of my forearm, easily slicing through the fabric of my sleeve. As I fell backwards onto the blacktop of the highway, the wolf unclamped its mouth from the hold it had on my arm and bounded off across the highway to the sound of squealing brakes. I lay on the asphalt, unmoving, my backpack making me feel like an overturned turtle. The only things coming to me were my breathing, I was hyperventilating, and the clunking sound of the engine of the car that had stopped just a few feet in front of me. The next thing I knew, there was a man standing over me who looked like little pieces of Lou Costello, Buddy Hackett, and John Candy all rolled into one. Since I'd believed that all 3 of those actors/comedians were dead, Hackett actually died a little later that same month, I absurdly wondered if he was here to welcome me to the afterlife. "What in tarnation are you doing laying across the middle of the highway in the dead of the night? I almost crushed your head like a melon." Tarnation, I thought. Who the heck uses the word tarnation anymore? Maybe I was dead, and this guy was some absurd compilation of 3 dead comedians I had admired come to welcome me through the pearly gates. "Hey," the man said, snapping the fingers on his right hand a few inches in front of my face. "Can you hear me? I mean, your eyes are moving, you seem to be looking at me, but it's like you're not all there. I can't smell any alcohol on you, so you're not drunk. And you're not dressed like a homeless person. Are you perhaps drugged out of your mind?" My breathing was starting to slow down, but I still wasn't able to say anything. He raised 3 digits a few inches away from my face. "How many fingers am I holding up?" "Wolf," I said, between rapid breaths. A strange look came over his face. "That's not even a number. Oh, geez, you must be strung out on LSD or something." He leaned down and grabbed the top of my shoulder with his right hand and grabbed my right forearm with his left. "Let's try to get you up, get some water into you." He pulled me up into a sitting position and from there helped me get to my feet. I bent over, my hands on my legs above my knees. My breathing was still rapid, but I managed to get it under control enough to say a few words. "Wolf," I said. "Did you see the wolf?" "Son," the man said, "just take another deep breath. There's no wolf here. Just me, you, my car, and that full moon." There was a bit of a pause, and he let out a long breath. "Ah, the full moon, that's it." "It is the very air of the moon," he said, putting on a slight British accent. "She comes more nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad." Shakespeare wrote that. It's from Othello. And he's not the first or last to share the effect that the moon can have on stirring up emotions, provoking bizarre actions and behavior, or even causing physical illness. The term lunatic, after all, which is derived from the Latin term luna, which means moon, was used to describe a type of insanity that was supposedly dependent upon the phases of the moon. Not that I'm saying you are a lunatic, my friend. Heck, I don't even know anything about you, apart from your penchant for laying on the highway in the middle of the night. And scientists have disproven the belief that the full moon causes mini gravitational tide-like disturbances in the water content of our brains. But that's not to discredit the power of suggestion and long-held superstitions. Just saying, maybe the moon is having a bit of an effect on you. As my breath was starting to come back to me, I was trying to figure out how it was even possible for a person to talk so much. This guy was a non-stop stream of verbal diarrhea. Why wasn't he out of breath? I lifted my left arm to show him where the wolf's teeth had torn through the sleeve of my thin jacket. There was minimal blood. The predator's teeth had only just broken the skin enough to leave 2 lines of 6 parallel blood-laced dimples on the top and bottom of my forearm. But it helped pause his monologue long enough for me to get a few words in. "Just before your car appeared around the corner," I said, "a wolf leaped out from the forest on the side of the highway, attacking me. Your vehicle must have scared him off, because this is all he did to me." "Pretty scary," he said, and there was a long pause before he spoke again. "I'm Buddy." He offered his right hand. I stuck out my own right hand, and we shook. "I'm Michael." "Which way were you heading before the attack?" "New York City." Buddy walked around to the passenger side of the car, an early 1990s silver 4-door Chrysler LeBaron, opened the door to remove a briefcase from the seat and tossed it into the back. "Hop in, Michael," he said, gesturing for me to step into the car. "Sounds like I came along just in the nick of time for you.